Welcome everyone. In this video, I would like to give you a highlight of what happened in the garden this week. There was a lot of work and a lot of production, and we were able to even get some tiny little harvests out of our tiny little garden. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day. So I harvested a bunch of stuff from the community garden today. My bed, Swiss chard, onions, celery, parsley, kale, ton of sugar snap peas, guys. Can't wait to show y'all. Look at that, all those sugar snap peas, some zinnias, calendula, tiger collards, collard greens. Yes. So I have more dill seeds from my garden bed today. And guess what, guys? I will be planting tons of dill seeds. I'm gonna need all this dill to go with my cucumbers, right? Plus, it's for the swallowtails. Got to do it for the babies, my butterflies. I'm spray painting these because my bench is gonna be ebony and my beds are gonna be ebony. So I'm spray painting these black. Can't wait to put it up. This is what it's gonna look like. So I have to nail the trellis on this bed, and then I'm gonna paint the bed, and then we're gonna put our soil and peat moss in here, and we're gonna start planting. It's gonna be cute. I'm gonna have one on each side of this bench. So the goal is to have Malabar spinach trellising up. I'm going to put some wood on the top. That way it can create like a shade canopy on top. And then one side is going to be Malabar spinach and the other side is going to be cucumbers. Still debating on what to do with the back. Morning glories. I don't know, y'all, but it's going to be cute. Good morning, good morning. So today bed number 2 is getting ready to be planted. It's supposed to rain this evening or maybe around 1 o'clock. So what's going in this bed, guys? We got sweet corn that I am going to succession plant, nasturtiums, chamomile, and we are adding sugar baby watermelon and one sun glow. I'm at orange glow watermelon to this bed, Malabar spinach, bushing cucumbers so I don't have to trellis them, and some flowers. These are my coleus seedlings that I started from seeds, and Malabar spinach in the bag, and my big leaf basil. So I harvested some onions and I left the roots. I'm going to plant this in the bed and it'll grow onion tops from this. So keep your scraps. It's going to be a good pest deterrent in one of my beds. My newest addition here may not look like much, but it is actually a sunflower bed. So I sowed a lot of sunflower seeds in here and sunflower starts, and I'm going to succession plant sunflower seeds in this area. And I do have one mammoth sunflower right there, black-eyed Susan, nasturtiums, and sunflower seeds. I also threw out some calendula seeds. So this entire bed here is going to be nothing but sunflowers. And I'm still going to work on the border for this area to keep the lawnman from mowing my sunflowers, because he did get off his lawnmower and asked me what this was. And I said, oh, those are my sunflowers. And he was stepping in the bed and he's like, I'm sorry. So I am still working on this area, working on the border. I'm going to add some type of sunflower signs. But the reason why I am making a sunflower area is for the bees. Bees love sunflowers. If you want to bring in a lot of bees to your garden, plant sunflowers. In my previous garden, I had a ton of bees that would be on one sunflower. They absolutely love sunflowers. And not only that, they're beautiful. And you can cut them and use them as cut flowers as well. And the really large ones, like that mammoth one, are the ones you can eat. So I'm saving those seeds to eat. I have several of the mammoth planted throughout the garden. So this is a new addition to the garden, which is the sunflower bed that will be overlooking the garden. I'm still working on the paths. Like where you see the grass, there was no type of mulching put down. I just put some wood chips on top. But this area is going to be completely cleaned, sheet mulched, and then I'm going to have stepping stones right there. And what you see along the edges of the garden, these pots are not going to be here because my intention was to actually plant flowers along the border. So I will be planting a flower border edge along here. So what else is new? This right here is a new addition to the garden. Okay guys, so this area right here is going to be a walking path. So I am going to sheet mulch this grass here with cardboard, and then I'm going to put the pine bark wood chips on top of it with the stepping stones right there. So that is the next project I'm going to work on, so that I can get this area looking decent before I start working on that area. So another thing I'm going to do is to connect the two trellises together with something on top. That way whatever starts vining up it will also vine overhead to create shade for me when I'm sitting out here working from home. I wanted to show you guys how this cucumber plant is holding on to this. So eventually it'll fill this entire trellis that I made up. It's also vining that way, and I just love the look of it. This week I've been sowing sunflower seeds in each one of the beds so that I can have different versions of sunflowers, varieties, popping up throughout the garden. One thing I learned, and I am learning, is the garden is a forever going on process for me, at least, because I keep having different visions of, oh, this will look good here, or that will look good here, to help bring things together. So this is what this looks like now. But once these beds are full of flowers and those two are connected and the vines are coming up the sides and over the top, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And then the walking paths completed. And here are some seedlings that I've been hardening off for outdoors, and these are my spineless okra. I also have burgundy okra and bush okra. When you're gardening, you want to incorporate a lot of flowers. That's something I didn't do last year, and because of it, I dealt with so many pests attacking my edibles. This year I made up for it. I have so many different variety of plants growing in the garden. As you can see, this is a huge sunflower that has grown a lot, and it keeps growing. Can't wait for it to flower because it also have flower heads that are shooting out. Marigolds is a must-have. I have over 150 in the garden right now, and I started another 100 that I'm slowly incorporating into the garden. Mexican marigolds is another must-have in your garden to bring in butterflies and bees. They absolutely love feasting on this flower. In this bed I added Egyptian spinach, and the garlic is starting to pop up. These are Mexican marigolds. They grow tall, as you can see that one in the back behind that sunflower. These get really tall. Another thing I'm going to be doing when I'm working on this area is these planters here will be removed so that I can actually get some flowers planted in the ground right here. And those are the nasturtiums that I'm looking forward to seeing vine over and help fill in this area here. You always want to add zinnias. Zinnias are so gorgeous. I actually cut some and use them as cut flowers for indoors. As you can see right here, this is where I sowed sunflowers. So in about another month, these sunflowers will start popping out and towering over the garden. I know it may seem like I have a lot of flowers, but I also have a lot of food growing in this garden as well, and a lot of herbs. I have peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, garlic, spinach, kale, it's just so much. Melons, okra, peas, sugar snap peas over here. I also have fruit trees, and I have bushes that will provide flowers that I can make tea from, like the Jamaican sorrel and then the cranberry hibiscus. A lot of edible flowers, and I still have seeds that are being sown. And I have potatoes, white potatoes, sweet potatoes. So even though it may seem like you think flowers are not something you want to incorporate in your garden because they'll take up space, that's not necessarily true. Like, the more food you have and the least amount of flowers you have, the more pests you're gonna have. And that was a hard lesson I had to learn last year. So this is just my garden update of what I've been working on this week for the garden. I cannot wait to see the sunflowers towering right over here, and they will face this direction because that's where the sun rises. Whenever their heads fully bloom, they'll be faced this way. So in my mind, I envision like the beauty that I see, and then I build it and create it and slowly put it together. Like, a garden is something you're always working on. It's not something that, boom, you did it and it's done. No, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of maintenance. It changes, it shifts, and it's not manicured. As you can see, my garden isn't manicured, and I don't want it to be manicured. I want it to be free to grow the way it wants to grow. So that's why I've been working in chunks, in sections. So the next part is to get this area right here, the walking paths, completed. Once that's done, we'll start working up there, getting the boxes built so that we can get the okra and the pigeon peas, the black-eyed peas, the corn, more corn, and some of my fruit trees up here on this hill. And then we'll work on building flowers to come down the hill to grow wildly, so that this area is no longer mowed or maintained. It'll just be free nature garden space. So these are just some of my ideas that goes through my head when I'm sitting out here in my garden. And this area here is going to be a sitting area with patio floor, like, you know, the concrete flooring, the chairs with the umbrella or maybe a canopy, and tiki lights. So this will be like a entertainment area for whenever we get to have social interaction again, you know. So the reason why I haven't put up lights is because what's most important is getting the garden laid out. After I get this laid out, irrigation will be next. That's the top priority. And then we'll worry about the lighting. So for now, this is what I'm working with, and this is what I've been working on. And I rooted some herbs this week in water, and I repotted them in these cute little hangers. So this is chocolate mint, oregano, and rosemary. So I just took what I already had in my garden and created more herbs, and I'll continue to keep cutting my herbs and rooting them to spread out throughout the garden. But I hope this gives you guys an idea, you know, of what's going on in the garden. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's very helpful for you. And I'm on my hill, guys. I just wanted to show you what it'll look like looking down. So I'm also thinking about, in this spot where I'm standing, also having a seating area where I can sit on top of the hill if I don't want to sit there. But that's it, guys. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. Please share, comment, and subscribe if you're not already a member of the channel. And thank you so much for joining me, and thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.